Hi there, I'm Dr. David Warren. After more than 30 years working with thousands of patients over 50, I've come to realize something simple but profound. Aging isn't the enemy. It's a reminder that your body just needs the right kind of care, at the right time. And that right time is often right before you go to bed, the moment your body shifts into its deepest healing mode. Tonight, I want to share with you 7 science-backed foods that can reactivate your body's nighttime muscle repair system, helping you wake up stronger, steadier, and clearer in the morning. I still remember one of my patients, Richard, 78, looking at me with tired eyes and saying, "Doctor, I don't understand. Every morning when I wake up, it feels like my legs don't belong to me anymore." I smiled and asked him, "Richard, have you ever tried eating quail eggs before bed?" He laughed, thinking I was joking. But the truth is, sometimes the smallest things nature gives us hold more power than any medicine. Quail eggs, tiny, no bigger than your fingertip, are what Japanese scientists call the forgotten gem of muscle restoration. These little eggs contain a unique protein called ovamacoid, which can boost muscle protein synthesis by up to 73% when eaten before sleep. And what's remarkable is that they don't just nourish your muscles. They awaken that natural flow of recovery inside your body, something time and age tend to silence. I want you to picture this. While you sleep, your body enters its deepest repair phase. If, at that moment, you give it the right building materials, like vitamin B12 and IGF-1, both found abundantly in quail eggs, your body begins to mend itself, repairing each tiny muscle fiber like a skilled craftsman, quietly fixing the roof of an old house through the night. Many of my patients told me that after just a few weeks of eating 5 to 6 soft-boiled quail eggs, boiled for exactly 2.5 minutes, about 20 minutes before bed, they felt the difference. Steadier steps, deeper sleep, and a surprising sense of energy in the morning. And the moment that touched me most was when Richard returned 2 months later. He climbed the clinic steps without holding the railing, smiled, and said, "Doctor, who knew something this small could give me my legs back?" Sometimes, it's not age that makes us weak. It's forgetting how to listen to our bodies. So tonight, if you're still hesitant, give yourself that chance. 5 little quail eggs, 2.5 minutes of patience, and an entire night of silent restoration. Let me tell you about Evelyn, a 72-year-old retired art teacher. She came to see me because every night, her legs would cramp so hard it jolted her awake. "Doctor," she said, "I just want one night where I don't wake up gripping my calf in pain." We didn't start with medication. We started with something far simpler: moringa leaves. In Africa, they call it the miracle tree. You might have heard of it, but most people don't realize that these tiny green leaves hold all 9 essential amino acids, the raw materials your body struggles to produce as you get older. I often tell my patients, you can't rebuild a house without bricks. And when it comes to your muscles, amino acids are those bricks. Moringa leaves also contain 25 times more iron than spinach, and the perfect 2-to-1 ratio of calcium to magnesium, which keeps your muscles contracting and relaxing smoothly through the night. I told Evelyn to have a small bowl of lightly steamed moringa leaves, or mix 2 teaspoons of moringa powder into warm water, about 45 minutes before bed. The first week, she was skeptical. By the 3rd week, she smiled and said, "Doctor, I slept 6 straight hours last night. No cramps." Her voice trembled, but her eyes lit up like someone who had just rediscovered something precious: the peace of an uninterrupted night's sleep. What I love about moringa isn't just its nutrients, it's the way it helps the body heal itself. The leucine in the leaves acts like a switch that turns back on your muscles' ability to repair and grow. And the chlorophyll, that vibrant green pigment, delivers more oxygen to your muscle fibers, helping you wake up feeling lighter and more alive. A lot of people tell me, at my age, It's probably too late to rebuild, but it's never too late. Sometimes all it takes is a bowl of green leaves, a warm cup of water, and a quiet faith that your body still remembers how to come back to life. Just like those moringa branches that sprout fresh and green again every time they're cut down. I once had a patient named Catherine, 69 years old, graceful, disciplined, and meticulous in everything she did. Every night, she had the same ritual, a cup of chamomile tea before bed. But every morning, she'd wake up exhausted. Her legs felt weak, swollen, heavy. When I asked about her dinner, she smiled and said, "Oh, I eat very little, doctor. I don't want to feel bloated before bed. Just tea, then straight to sleep." I looked at her and said, "Maybe it's not about eating less, Catherine. Maybe it's about eating right. The right thing, at the right time. Think about it. Your body is like a construction site at night. If there are no materials, how can the workers rebuild anything?" That's when I introduced her to a secret from the East, black garlic. Not the sharp, pungent kind you toss into your pasta sauce, but garlic that's been aged for 30 days at a steady temperature until it turns jet black, soft like a date, and sweet like molasses. During that process, it develops a compound called acetylcysteine, proven to boost muscle protein synthesis by 34% when eaten before sleep. I told her, every night, have 2 or 3 cloves. Chew them slowly. Let them melt in your mouth like warm honey. After the first week, she texted me, "Doctor, this actually tastes better than I expected." By the 3rd week, she said, "I'm sleeping deeper, and my legs don't feel heavy anymore when I wake up." And you know what? That makes perfect sense. Black garlic naturally contains melatonin, which helps you fall asleep faster, and powerful anti-inflammatory compounds. Silent guardians that protect your muscle fibers from breaking down during those 8 hours of sleep. I like to call it the night watchman of your muscles. While you rest, it quietly reduces inflammation, improves blood flow to your legs, and activates muscle repair on a cellular level. And because it's been fermented, black garlic is gentle on your stomach. No harsh sulfur compounds. No bad breath like raw garlic. In Japan, many elderly people have used it for decades to stay strong well into their 90s. Now, I'm watching my American patients rediscover that same wisdom. Remember this: sleep isn't just rest, it's an opportunity for your body to rebuild itself. And if each night you give your body a small dose of this nutrient of the night, black garlic, it will thank you in the morning with steadier steps, lighter legs, and a quiet sense of strength from within. I still remember the first time I saw a small bag of sacha inchi seeds in a natural food store in California. The clerk told me, "These come from the Amazon rainforest. The Peruvians call them the gold of longevity." I smiled politely at the time, not thinking much of it, until I tried them with one of my patients, James, a 76-year-old man who could barely climb a few steps without losing his breath. We didn't change his medication. We didn't push him into exercise. I simply asked him to try one small thing: eat a handful of roasted sacha inchi seeds every night, about 30 to 40 minutes before bed. He looked at me skeptically. "Just seeds?" he asked. I smiled and said, "They're not just seeds. They're nature's bridge between the earth and your body's ability to recover." You see, inside those tiny, star-shaped seeds lies 48% pure plant protein, with an amino acid profile almost identical to human muscle. They're also rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the same heart-healthy fats most people lose as they age, and tryptophan, the precursor to serotonin and melatonin, the 2 compounds that calm your mind and help your body repair while you sleep. At night, your body becomes like a quiet garden being watered by these nutrients. Serotonin soothes the mind, Melatonin carries you into deep sleep, and omega-3s and proteins silently replant those fragile muscle fibers that time has worn thin. 6 weeks later, James walked into my office beaming. "Doctor," he said, "I can go up the stairs without holding the rail. And the strangest thing is, I'm sleeping like a baby." I laughed and said, "That's not strange at all. Science explains it clearly. Phytosterols in Sasha Inchi naturally boost testosterone levels during sleep, enhancing muscle protein synthesis. And its gamma-tocopherol form of vitamin E protects muscle cells from oxidative stress, one of the main reasons older adults lose muscle faster. If you ever roast these seeds yourself, you'll notice their warm, nutty aroma, a bit like peanuts, but with a faint green freshness that reminds you they came straight from the forest. Eat a small handful before bed, chew slowly, and you'll feel a gentle warmth spread, not just through your body, but through that quiet belief that your body still knows how to heal. Let these little seeds remind you, your strength never truly disappears, it just rests, waiting to be awakened. I still remember a cold winter afternoon in Maine when I went to visit Helen, an 81-year-old retired Army nurse. She told me that after turning 75, it felt like someone had taken the strength right out of her legs. Even though she ate well, she still felt weak and tired easily. I asked her, "Helen, have you ever heard of sea buckthorn?" She shook her head, curious. "What is that, doctor?" I told her about a bright orange berry that grows on windy mountain slopes in Siberia, one of the harshest places on Earth. Those tiny berries have helped elderly people there stay strong and active, even riding horses and working outdoors well into their 90s. And modern science has confirmed why. Sea buckthorn contains the highest amount of leucine found in any plant food, the amino acid that switches on muscle building in aging bodies. But that's not all. This little fruit is the only known source that naturally carries all 4 omegas, 3, 6, 7, and 9, in perfect balance. The rare one, omega-7, does something extraordinary. It makes aging muscles more sensitive to protein, meaning your body can actually use more of what you eat, even if you eat less. It's like reopening a door that time slowly closed. I told Helen, every night, eat about 2 tablespoons of frozen sea buckthorn berries. Let them melt slowly in your mouth. Tweet. The taste is tart, kind of like orange mixed with passion fruit, but it's the most pleasant tartness you'll ever try. A few weeks later, she called me and said, "Doctor, my legs feel stronger. I've started walking around my garden again every morning." I knew exactly why. While she slept, the vitamins A, D, E, and K in those berries were quietly at work, helping her body absorb nutrients and reduce inflammation. And the natural vitamin C, 12 times more stable than that in oranges, was protecting her muscles from oxidation, as if those little orange jewels were stitching her tired muscle fibers back together. You know, Russian astronauts once used sea buckthorn to prevent muscle loss in space, where the absence of gravity weakens the body even faster than aging does. If it can protect muscles out there, imagine what it can do down here for your legs, your balance, your independence. So picture this. You close your eyes, that sweet tart flavor lingers on your tongue, and while you sleep, millions of muscle cells quietly come back to life. Maybe that's nature's gentlest gift to old age, a tiny golden berry from the frozen north, reigniting the fire in your legs. Let me tell you about Patrick, a 74-year-old former baseball coach, strong and disciplined his entire life. But a few years ago, he came to me and said, "Doc, I eat well, I sleep enough, but somehow I feel weaker every day. Every morning when I look in the mirror, my shoulders look thinner, my legs feel like they've lost their strength." I asked him, "Patrick, how do you usually end your day? What's your dinner like?" He chuckled. "Just a glass of unsweetened almond milk." I don't eat before bed. I'm afraid of gaining weight. I looked at him and said, actually, Patrick, nighttime is exactly when your body needs to be fed. Just not with more calories, but with the right kind of fuel. That's when I introduced him to something incredibly simple: cottage cheese. Not the heavy, greasy kind, but the soft, light, white variety that's rich in casein protein. A slow-digesting protein that nourishes your muscles for 7 to 8 hours while you sleep. I told him, try half a cup about 30 minutes before bed. Add a pinch of cinnamon or a few chia seeds if you like. It's not a late-night snack. It's a nighttime gift for your muscles. And you know what? After just 2 weeks, Patrick came back smiling. Doctor, he said, I feel different when I wake up. My body doesn't feel drained. It feels charged, like something's been recharging me overnight. I smiled back. That's exactly what science has shown. Casein releases amino acids slowly through the night, keeping your body in a building state instead of a breaking down one. And on top of that, cottage cheese contains natural IGF-1, a growth factor that helps repair muscles, bones, and connective tissue. I often tell my older patients, eating right before bed isn't optional. It's the key to recovery. Cottage cheese, in that old-fashioned, humble food, is one of the most reliable allies of healthy aging. So if you've been feeling like your strength is fading, even though you're doing everything right, try this simple ritual tonight. Half a cup of cottage cheese, a sprinkle of cinnamon, a few minutes of quiet before bed, and tomorrow morning, when the sunlight filters through your window, you might just realize your strength never left you. It was only waiting to be properly nourished. I want you to imagine a quiet evening. No TV, no phone, just you, a soft light in the room, and a warm cup of water in your hands. Steam rises, carrying that faint mineral scent. You take a slow breath, sip gently, and feel the warmth travel down your chest, all the way to your legs. That's not just water. That's magnesium glycinate, a close friend of good sleep and a quiet key that unlocks your body's ability to recover each night. I once had a patient named Laura, 70 years old. She told me, Doctor, I sleep, but I never feel rested. I wake up heavy, like my body's made of stone. When we ran her labs, she was severely magnesium deficient, something I see all the time in older adults, especially women. She looked surprised and asked, can a simple mineral really make me feel this drained? I told her, it's not just about energy. Laura, when your body runs low on magnesium, it literally can't relax. It's like trying to turn off the lights when the switch is stuck in the on position. Magnesium glycinate is the most absorbable form. It goes straight into your muscles and your brain. It helps calm cramps, steady your heartbeat, trigger melatonin, and most importantly, it guides you into deep sleep, the stage where real healing happens. I told Laura to mix 200 micromolar of magnesium glycinate into a cup of warm water, about 8 Oz, and drink it slowly about 20 minutes before bed. A week later, she came back smiling. Doctor, for the first time in years, I slept through the whole night, and I woke up feeling light again. I wasn't surprised. When magnesium levels are restored, your muscles can finally breathe again. They relax, blood flows better, and growth hormones rise naturally. Sleep stops being just rest and becomes a night shift for your cells. A quiet factory where weak tissues are repaired and tired fibers get stitched back together. I always tell my patients, don't underestimate that cup of warm water before bed. It's not a routine. It's a ritual of healing. Each sip is a small reminder that no matter your age, you can still give your body the chance to heal itself. So tonight, try it. Make your cup of warm water. Sit still for a moment. Breathe deeply. And let your body, your oldest companion, truly rest. Because sometimes Real strength doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from allowing yourself to let go and recover the right way. I want to close this video with something simple, but it's a truth that 30 years of practice have taught me. Aging doesn't take away your strength. It just asks you to learn how to care for your body with more gentleness, more understanding, and more patience. I've seen hundreds of people in their 70s, 80s, even 90s regain vitality simply by changing a few habits before bedtime. No expensive gym memberships, no muscle pills, just a few quiet choices. A little black garlic, a few quail eggs, a handful of Sasha Inchi seeds, a warm magnesium drink, or a small bowl of cottage cheese. And above all, a belief that your body still knows how to heal. Nighttime is magical. In the dark, your body isn't resting. It's rebuilding you. And you can help it simply by giving it the right tools, the right nutrients, and a bit of faith. Never believe it's too late. If you can stand up in the morning, if you can take one step forward, then it's never too late to begin again. If something in this video helped you, I hope you'll share it, maybe with a parent, a friend, or someone who's quietly thinking, it's too late for me. Let them know it's never too late to be strong again. And if you'd like to keep walking with me on this journey of recovery, renewal, and living fully, hit subscribe so we can meet again in the next video. Because I believe the greatest gift isn't just living longer, it's living deeper, healthier, and freer at any age.